Week 1 predictions. Fun times. Now, I'm just using this website for this video. I'm not doing this for sake of, like, I'm not actually doing pick'em. I'm just doing it for the video. But let's go ahead and get right into it. Who do I think is going to win Week 1? I'm taking the Eagles. I'm honestly taking Eagles like 28-10. Eagles win 28-10 over the Cowboys. They're going to absolutely demolish the Cowboys. Without Rashawn Slater, the Chargers are definitely going to struggle versus the Chiefs pass rush. I'm taking the Chiefs. I think it's going to be a close game, though. I think this final score will be 21-17 Chiefs. It's going to be a 4-point game in the end, in my opinion. Bucks versus Falcons. I want to take the Falcons because I think the Falcons could pull off the home upset. But the Buccaneers just look too dang good. They just look too dang good. Bengals, Browns. Taking the Bengals. That's not really much of a question. I think we're going to win this game. The question is, by how much? And that's going to be the real kicker in this game is I think we'll win, but by how much and how are we going to look? We're going to answer all these questions and more after commercial break. I'm just kidding. But, I think this game is going to be a tough game. It's probably going to end up being like 24-13 or something. But it will be something crazy like we score a touchdown in the last second. But for most of the game, it will probably be like 13-10 or something. It's going to be stupid. Dolphins, Colts. I gotta take the Dolphins. Listen, I don't really like the idea of just taking you're just taking the squad that has a better percentage. No. But the Colts, are we really gonna trust that Daniel Jones can get the job done? I don't think so. I don't think that Daniel Jones can get the job done. Tua will be healthy for this game, which we can't always say for the whole entire season. But we can say at least for this game, they're going to be better. That Colts squad, they're in a rebuild. They're going to have to figure things out after this season, what they're going to do with their team, whether or not they're going to try to figure things out with Anthony Richardson. They're going to bring back Daniel Jones. I would definitely not do that if I was the Colts. Or what they're going to do. But at this moment in time, I said it yesterday and I'll say it again. I believe the Colts are fighting for that number 1 overall pick. And there's really no question about that, in my opinion. I don't think they're going to be that good of a team. Sorry, Colts fans. It is what it is. Panthers, Jags. Give me the Panthers. Give me the Panthers in our first upset of the week. I guess, is it really an upset? I guess the Panthers are projected to be a really bad team this year. But as I've said, again, the other day, I think the Jags are going to suck. I think they're going to be in competition for the number 1 overall pick. So I really don't see a scenario where, the Jags have a great season. But at the same time, I think the Panthers, you start off the year, Bryce Young looks good week 1. We've seen it before. The Cardinals, I think was back in 2008, 2009. They started off the season 4-0 and finished the season 4-12. It's possible. You have a bad team in the Carolina Panthers. I'm not trying to say the Panthers are like the best team ever. They're not. But you have a bad team with the Panthers. You got a team like the Jags who are kind of like trying to figure out their identity, trying to figure out who they are. This is a perfect game for them to go in there, make it way too close for anyone's liking, if you're a Jags fan, that is, and win the game in the end. And I think that, again, I think this is going to be a close game. Honestly, I think this is going to be a very boring game. I'm going to guess the final score of this game ends up being something like 13-6. It's going to be a game where nobody watched it, but then everyone's like, hey, how did Travis Hunter do? You're going to get your information, and then you're probably going to be like, wow, I'm so happy I never watched this game. It's kind of one of those scenarios. And I think, honestly, for most of Jags season, that's really how it's going to go. People are going to be like, how did Travis Hunter do? Okay. All right, nice. Don't care about the Jags. Okay. Raiders, Patriots. I think the Patriots going to have a great season. Give me the Raiders. I like the veteran leadership with Geno Smith, and I think that's going to be the thing that really puts the Raiders over the edge here and wins them this game. I think the Patriots going to have a fantastic season, but I think week 1 we're going to see Geno Smith get the job done. And it's also, veteran, new team. They're going to probably start the season hot. It is what it is. They might start the season with 2-2 or 3-2, and then they might start to fall off over time. But I think this is going to be really a good look for the Raiders starting off the season. Cardinals Saints. I can't even find a way to explain how I think the Saints are not going to be one of the worst teams as well. I think the Saints are going to be in that number 1 pick category, which would work if Arch Manning does end up hitting the draft this upcoming year, because his father, Archie, played for the Saints. So it actually is like the perfect fit for him if he decided to actually go to the Saints. Now, again, we have to wait and see if Archie Manning does go or not. I will say his performance versus Ohio State was definitely not the greatest. So, if you saw the week 1 performance for Arch Manning, he's getting a lot of hate for that too. Now, again, it's only 1 week performance in college football. You can't look too much into those things, but it was bad. It was very, very bad. Ohio State does have a great defense, but bruh, Archie Manning looks like a guy where if his last name wasn't Manning, he's taking your orders at Chick-fil-A. It was weird. It wasn't the greatest performance. Steelers at Jets. Oh, I would love to sit here and tell you how this is going to be the best revenge game of all time for the Jets, who, got fluffed over by Aaron Rodgers. There just simply isn't a scenario where that's the case. Steelers are going to smother the Jets. I could see the Steelers winning this game something crazy like 28-3. I could see this being an absolute beatdown for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And even with a 28-3, I don't even think that's going to be because, Aaron Rodgers has a fantastic game. I think Aaron Rodgers is probably going to have an awful game in this game. They're still going to win 28-3 because that Jets squad is not prepared for the Steelers defense. This Steelers defense is menacing. So they're not going to be prepared for that, and that's going to be the biggest downfall, is going against that Steelers defense, which I don't like to go against, even though I feel like we're a lot more qualified as the Bengals. I'm not really looking forward to going against that Steelers defense as well. But I definitely think that Steelers defense is going to smother and just absolutely demolish the New York Jets. And also, this is just a random take here. I have a random feeling like this game is going to be the flow of this game, I feel like, is going to be changed greatly because of a penalty. I don't know why I'm feeling like that, but that's been my gut feeling ever since I saw this game. And I feel like there's going to be a part of this game where it's very, not close, but it's 6-3, right? And typical Steelers football, it will be early in the game before halftime, it will be 6-3. And then the second half, they'll go off. But I feel like there's going to be a situation where it's 6-3, and everything flips inside his head because of a controversial penalty call that either is called or not called. That's how I feel like this game's going to go, and I say 28-3. And no, I'm not saying they're going to come back. This is the non-comeback. Well, it's the Jets, not the Patriots. That's why. All right, Washington against the Giants. Another very interesting one. Another interesting game. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to be Washington. I'm just messing around. Not even a question, man. It's going to be a blowout. I'm not going to say a blowout. I think this game will be... I don't think it will be close in the end. I'm thinking it's going to be 35-21. So I think it's maybe a 10-14 point win for the Commanders. But I think the Jets... wow, same exact stadium, too. I think the Giants are going to put on somewhat of a fight. But I just think it's going to be a very tough showing for the first time. That's what I'll say. I think the Giants are going to be a good team this year. Broncos, Titans, Broncos. Not a question. Not even a question. 49ers, Seahawks. I hate these teams. I hate these teams because I don't know what to expect from these teams. That's why I hate these teams. This is divisional one, so it's already going to be iffy. I would say if I had to, usually with the AFC West matchups, they can get a little bit sketchy. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. And I know obviously the public's taking the 49ers. A lot of the reason why is because it's the first game, ever for Sam Darnold as a Seattle Seahawks. So you kind of have that, really early on. Has to learn, has to get that whole grip down and being on a brand new team. Will he be a one-hit wonder? Will he actually look good again? There's all these question marks. I just don't have faith in the Niners. I really don't. I really do not have faith in the Niners. Mentally, I'd say to myself, this team has to be good, right? The Niners are the Niners. Yeah, last year they had injuries and they didn't look that good, but this is the Niners. But I also am a qualified Brock Purdy hater. So I also don't think Brock Purdy's as good as people make him out to be. That's that's my situation here. I'm self-identifying as a Brock Purdy hater. Packers, Lions. Packers 32% is kind of insane. I thought this would be a lot more. It's at Lambeau Field. You just get Micah Parsons. Now, Micah will most likely be on the snap count for this game if he plays much at all, because he is coming off an injury. But give me Packers, man. Go Tom Grossi. Go Pack, go. I don't know why this is like this. This is crazy. Texans at Rams. Again, bro, the Rams are not that much better. I mean, the Rams are better than... I don't know. I think the Texans are a good team, too. Again, I think this is very lopsided. I'll take the Rams, but, the Texans winning this game would not be that surprising, in my opinion. I don't think that would be that surprising. Ravens at Bills. Bills are a 69% chance. Interesting. Ravens are going to win this game 35-7. Crazy take right there. I really think this is going to be a blowout. I think the Ravens are going to blow the Bills out. I don't think this game is going to even be close. A lot of that reasons why is because if you look at the Ravens playing the Bills last year, blew them out in the regular season. Now, in the postseason, well, we already know how that would go and how it went, where the Bills, actually, the Ravens were a 2-point conversion away from tying that game. So they could have beat them in the postseason as well, but, we all know how that goes. Anyway, I think I hit my data cap for the amount of times I can trash Baltimore. Wait, no, I didn't. There is no data cap. I apologize for that. Anyway. Oh, man. I love saying stuff about them sometimes. But no, I think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to even be close. I say 35-7. Ravens beat Bills. The more I look into it, the more I think about this game, the more I think this is just going to not even be close. So, I know that's a crazy take, but I also have the Ravens going 13-4. So, 13-4, 12-5, I think is kind of where the Ravens will end up settling. So, it's not that crazy of a take when you think of it like that. But we'll see. Maybe the Ravens will surprise me and they will lose. And I will be so happy. Because that means we'll have one chance closer to the division. Obviously, listen, I'm not a Bills hater. I want the Bills to win. I want the Bills to be successful. I like Josh Allen. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he robbed Joe Burrow of the MVP last year, but it's okay, I think realistically speaking last year, it should have been number 1, Joe Burrow, number 2, Lamar Jackson, and number 3, Josh Allen. I get it. It is what it is. You know, you don't want Joe Burrow to get it. Anyway, last game of the week, we got Vikings versus Bears. Ooh. This is another one where you got a rookie quarterback in the Vikings. All right, I say rookie quarterback. He's not rookie, but it's his first year starting because last year he couldn't start because of injury. But in reality, it's like when Patrick Mahomes didn't technically start his first year. He sat behind Alex Smith. It's the same concept. His second year when he started, that's in theory his rookie year because that's the first year we actually got to see the guy and, you know, he was able to play. Patrick didn't not play because of injury, but same concept. He had to sit behind someone and learn and develop. And again, like I said, this is kind of my mindset with this. I said before, I think the Bears are going to be a playoff team. I think they can be a playoff team. Possible wildcard team. Nothing really more than that. So I think the Bears could find their way into the 7th seed. If they have a good season and things go their way, 7th seed. I don't really even see a 6th seed for the Bears. But week 1, it's divisional. Tough matchup, but Ben Johnson is going to coach up some crazy stuff. So give me the Bears to upset the Vikings. Yeah. Although I don't want the Vikings to be ticked off when we play them in week 3. So just, you know, don't remember I said this. But also, you should have never cut Jake Browning. You know, you should have never effing cut him. So, hate to say it. It is what it is. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, guys. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.